Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just an update here on Atari, or Pong, P-O-N-G-F. I talked about this one a while back, and just time for an update here. So just going through some penny stocks and doing some updates. But this is Atari, and you can see what they've done here over the last year. So they were up in the dollar range, $1.15 back in April, came down 44 cents and currently at 20 cents. And here's a look at the last month. Down a little bit, down about 10%, down 10 cents or so. And here's a look in the last week, so down about 5 cents. And here's what's going on today. So just kind of looks like a big drop off, but it's only a penny. But again, this is only a penny stock. So 52-week low of 10 cents and a high of $1.17, low of 20 and a high of 21. So like I said, I've talked about this one in the past. I'll go ahead and link those videos in the description. Atari to announce various steps to consolidate its balance sheet, implement a reverse split, and propose a transfer to Euronext Growth. A little bit older, but if you're in this one, it's still relevant. So Atari announces various steps to consolidate its balance sheet, implement a reverse split, and propose a transfer to Euronext Growth. So they're a worldwide producer in the industry of consumer brands and interactive entertainment products. Announced today that is working on long-term solutions to reinforce its balance sheet, limit its stock volatility, and reduce compliance burden to moving its stock listing to Euronext Growth. As discussed during the general meeting held on November 30th of 2021, the company is currently preparing 22 to 25 million recapitalization with preferential subscription rights, the completion of which remains subject to AMF's approval and the prospectus and granting of an exemption for mandatory tender offer. If approved by the AMF, the capital increase will be made available to existing shareholders through its rights issued. I'm not going to read all of the information to you, so feel free to pause and go over the rest. This kind of goes over some more company post-fund raising. Between approximately 29 and 34% of the share capital and voting rights. Following completion of the contemplated fundraising, the company is contemplating a subsequent transfer of the listing of its shares from Euronext to Euronext Growth. These steps will allow Atari to approximately fund the implementation of its strategy for the short term and midterm, reduce its cost exposure to the regulatory constraints associated with Euronet market, and has been listed on Simplified Market, which is more appropriate to the group's profile and current need. Such transfer to Euronext Growth will be discussed and resolved upon during a shareholder meeting that Atari will convene shortly. Contemplated transfer of Euronet to Euronext Growth would be possibly preceded or followed by a reverse stock split of the company shares, the modalities of which are to be further determined by the company board of directors in order to improve market profile and limit share price volatility. Atari remains entirely focused on dedicated to the implementation of the group's strategy presented to the shareholders during the general meeting held on November 30th of 2021. So definitely some good information. Nobody really wants to see a stock split probably, but maybe it will help out in the long run, so we'll just have to wait and see. But just as the article said, Atari has experienced certain issues in the relationship with the licensee. Limited investments limited in relation to Atari licenses granted. Consequently, notices of breach have been sent by Atari Group to such licenses in relation to the corresponding license agreements. And just going to scroll through the rest of this information here. There's a disclaimer. Here's a little bit more about Atari. And they can go to Atari.com here just so you can see their website. And like I said, I've talked about them a couple times, and I'll go ahead and list those in the comments. But what I got into it, I grew up playing Atari. They got into a blockchain is kind of what my last videos are about. Their website has totally changed, so here's a look at their gaming system. And then, like I said, they have the blockchain, so very interesting. Atari is publishing Combinera, its first original game in years. So very cool information, and as you can see, this is just dated on the 1st on Tuesday. Unveiled a brand new puzzle platformer game called Combinera, which is coming to pretty much any platform you can think of this April. So that might be a catalyst that drives this stock up a little bit. It's just hard to say. You'll just have to wait and see. Combinera is a new Atari where players take control of differently colored balls and use them and their unique abilities to work their way through the over 300 environments and puzzles. The balls all move in unison with different colors will interact with puzzles in different ways, requiring concentration and puzzle solving to move forward. Sounds kind of like Jenga in a way. I can't say the video game that I'm thinking of, but it sounds kind of similar. So Atari has published a number of recharged versions of the older arcade games of Brick Breaker, Asteroids, and others, but Combinera is the first new IP to come out of this initiative, and according to Rosen, the first of many to come. So the upcoming release calendar has the publisher releasing on average a new game every month for the next 13 months. That includes a mixture of classic IP, recharged games, a brand new IP, and new games from existing franchises. For now, Atari is working entirely with external studios through Rosen suggests they may one day bring development in-house. He says that in coming months and years, we can expect to see Atari collaborate with a variety of studios, from small independents to larger studios with well-established reputations. So again, it's a puzzle platformer that has some of the personality traits of an Atari arcade game. I would play the video, but sometimes when I do that, I get a copyright, so I'm not going to go there. But if you want to go ahead and look at it, you can go right to the website yourself and check it out. I'm sure it's on YouTube as well. So, Combinera, a new game co-developed by Atari, hits mobile next month. And that's what it's all about, is getting games on the mobile, iPhone, Android, and iPad. So developing a brand new game rather than going over one of their classics with a remaster and something similar. So I'm sure if you just, right there, YouTube, just type in Combinera trailer and it will probably come up. Like I said, I'm not going to do it because last time I did that I got a copyright, and now that video is not monetized, and it's one of my more popular ones about lithium, so... Graphite Lab and Atari. So again, colorful and demanding puzzle platformer coming in April of 2022. So very cool information. So just going to scroll through the rest of this. 300 levels of fiendishly challenging puzzles, so it should be quite the lengthy game. Holy Pong, Atari's bringing an original game to Android. Holy Pong, Batman. So this is another thing that I went over on one of my last videos. Atari was once a well-known name in gaming, but at this point the company is coasting on name recognition alone, floating ideas like hotels and cryptocurrency as new money-making schemes for the brand. Still, games are what people expect from Atari, and it would appear a new title is in the works, a co-developer by Atari. So that's kind of what got me to talking about it the last time, was the crypto and other things they're getting into. So I'm not saying you're going to get rich on this one by any means, but definitely something interesting for a 20-cent stock here on StockTwits. Low of 10 cents, high of $1.17. So I'll just have to re-release some of their staples in the earlier days with better graphics. I think that would sell. I mean, last couple years I've seen the game systems $30, $40, maybe $50 at like Walmart with preloaded about 30, 40 games on it. I bought one a couple years ago and gave it to my son, so and nothing here on tip ranks, but that's all that I have on Atari, or PONGF. If you have this one, go ahead and list it in the comments along with your cost basis, any other information you'd like to share. And if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and hit that for me, as well as subscribing and hit the bell so you're notified of when the next videos drop. Again, this is Jay Money, Falling Forward Financial. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.